Okay, to make this project, we're going to start with the baskets and blooms die, and I'm going to actually lay the paper right over just the one basket portion of the bag. And when I put this in here, just so you can see, I'm going to use some cardstock that I cover that with, and I want to make this a card, so I'm going to basically leave just a little bit off of where that would normally cut for the seam to cut it, and move it in just, you know, a smidge so that it won't cut in that area. And then I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper and I'm gonna lay that in there, make my sandwich. If I can get this in here without moving it. And then run this through my machine. Okay, so when you are done, you will have one piece of designer series paper that you can use, and you will have this card here that you'll be able to open as a card. And you can see that there's the seam here that generally we use to fold to keep the bags together, because you would cut two individual pieces, but I'm just going to cut on that dotted line because I'm not going to need that for my card, so I'm just going to keep that like it is. So I will have a bag card when I open it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece of designer series paper and I'll do the same thing. I'll cut that actual piece off, or you can rip it off, whatever is easiest for you. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach my designer paper to the outside of this. So I'll just adhere that on. So I'm going to line that up and attach that onto the front of my card. And just look on the inside too, just to make sure that you kind of have your edges lined up and so forth. Okay, and then I'm going to take the whimsical words, and I'm going to use this one here that says you're never more than a thought away. And with some chocolate chip ink, I'm going to stamp in the center of my card. And then I'm going to take some of the Pretty in Pink satin ribbon, and I'm going to tie a little bit of that around the handle. And using my scissors for ribbon, I'm going to cut some of that off and adjust my bow. I've been asked about my ribbon, and sometimes, you know, because the edges start to fray, and so I'm going to show you a little trick that I do. Now, I would recommend doing this when it's not on the project, but I just take a little lighter and I hold the heat kind of away. I get it kind of close, but not too close, but you can, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it is actually sealing and melting the edge of that ribbon. And you got to be careful that you don't get too close, because you can burn or scald your ribbon. I've done that already, and it just kind of ruins it. So you just need to get it close enough so that the heat, so you can actually see the heat start to seal off the ribbon. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to hold it so that I don't burn the card in myself. And that will help your edges staying clean and not fraying. Okay, then the next thing that I did was I took one of the brads from the flower brads, and I took one of the chocolate ones, and I took a good pair of scissors or some snips, and what I did was I ended up cutting off the actual stem of the brad, and when it was done, there was nothing left on there, and I'm going to glue that. And I would recommend that you hot glue this onto your ribbon so it will stay. And I'm just using a glue dot for right now. And then what I did was I took one of the petal card die from the Big Shot, and I'm going to fold this up and apply some adhesive here. And I'm going to fold the other side up, and as you can see, I'll have a heart, and I'm going to use that as my envelope to put my card in. So there you have it, and that's just a really cute little note to a teacher or to a friend, just to let them know that you're always thinking of them. And there's room in there. You can, hand journal your own message. Thanks for joining me. Bye.